Welcome to the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Seth Wells. Today our guest is a freshman cross-country runner at Butler, Lauren DeShaw. She's from Holland, Michigan. Lauren, welcome to the Blitz.
Hi Seth, nice to be with you.
Today we're going to talk about the transition as a high school athlete to a collegiate athlete here at Butler University. Lauren, first question would be, what are the main differences between high school and Butler?
Well, obviously college, high school. So in high school, you are on a big team in the sports, and so your coaches can't really give you one-on-one time, and so it's kind of like you have to push your own self, and like you're on your own schedule. And I mean, in college you are too, especially here at Butler. Like everyone is so self-driven and everything. But in college, it's more like you have your practice times, and it's very obvious the difference between sports and academics. And you're here for academics, and it's just an opportunity that you have to be on sports. With track or with cross country, we usually have practice in the morning and stuff. So I can get my runs and practices out of the way and get that one-on-one time with my coach when I need it. And then I get ready to do school in the day. And then during classes, I don't think about sports. Whereas in high school, it's like maybe you're thinking about that the competition all throughout the day when it's after school, whereas in college, competitions are on the weekend. So.
Now, what has been the hardest thing to grow accustomed to since you got here at Butler?
I would have to say time management. Since I put an hour and a half to 3 hours of practice in every day, and then I also have study tables that we have to do 6 hours a week, it's really hard with time management and having classes be separated instead of like back to back. So I just have to make sure I get my homework done, I can get enough sleep, I get my food in, and I also get my practices, like a good practice in as well. So.
Now, are the practices and your workout routine more physically challenging than they were in high school, or have they not differed that much?
Well, I came from a swimming background in high school. I actually swam 11 years all year round, and I would only do track 2.5 months out of the year. And so I was used to having a huge consume time throughout the week with swim practice, about 20 hours a week. And so coming to do running and cross country, the practices are very different, but I don't have as much time to commit to the sport. So practices, again, like I said, they're in the morning. Typically they start at 7 o'clock. I'm usually done by 9:30. We have practice on Sundays too, and we get Mondays off. Sunday practices are long run days, so that can be a 4-hour practice depending on how long your long run is. And we can go off campus. So we go off campus all the time, frequently. Like I run, sometimes you can make it all the way to downtown Indy on your run. And so, whereas in high school, you would just stay in the little area you were in and everything. So.
Now, with your new workout routine that you have grown accustomed to here at Butler, has the academic part been more challenging since you got to college? Like, have your grades been fluctuating at all?
I mean, college academics obviously are more rigorous than high school academics. So it has been different, again, with the time management. I just have to make sure that when I have space between classes that I get work done or I take a nap to be able to continue throughout the day. And it helps having study tables at night because practice is not then. And then we also, that's like 6 hours a week committed just to studying. So that makes it that helps with my daily routine to be able to do my homework and get it done with and not worry about it. And then it's hard, though, with having practices and school to be able to schedule time with professors. So the little time you do get is very, very important.
Now, can you explain to our viewers what exactly a study table is?
Study tables are, typically they're only for freshmen, and depending on what your coach says, for cross country it's 6 hours, and I think for most freshmen their first semester it's 6 hours, but it's just a way to like maintain your GPA. And I don't exactly remember what the requirement for your GPA is, but you have to do it at least the first semester. Study table is just a time where you do homework and there's no distractions. You have to sign in, and you usually have to give the monitor your objectives, and it's typically a coach and sometimes the student athlete academic advisor, Sonia Hopkins, and you just have to like report to him what you're doing and what you accomplish in that time period, and you have to be there for over an hour. And it's all student athletes that are in there, so it's just a really good quiet area instead of per se going to the library on your own time. It's just at night during the week. So
you think the study tables have helped you since you
they
got
are
here?
effective. I think they're very effective because it is time related to just academics instead of just sports too.
Right. Now, as far as coaches go, obviously you have a new coach, new personality. Has the one-on-one time with your coach been any different since you got here compared to what like your one-on-one time was in high school?
Yes, I was the best runner on my team in high school, and I got one-on-one time there, but that was just like, all right, like, what are you going to do to help the team? Here, it's like, how are you going to improve your own running, and we're going to work on technique, and we're going to take one time I stayed an hour after practice just talking with my coach about technique and like how me, myself, and my personal goals are going to be, because we have our team goals all formulated. Everyone's going for the same thing, but it's different when it's a coach that's at a way higher level, knows way more about the sport and just like the science behind the sport and keeping up to date with what's going on. And so the one-on-one time is a lot more crucial here because it's hard. It's not harder, but it's easier to have that one-on-one time with your coach because you can also schedule a meeting with them. Or like I said, I stayed after practice for an hour talking to them. For cross country, we have to log on something called Athletic Core and log every mile we run every single day and the type of workout we do, and just so they know what they're doing since they have to keep track of the athletes. And everything is very individualized. So
you feel like this one-on-one time has definitely improved your time? Like, has your time as far as your races been better?
I have not competed yet this year, so I can't tell you, but I know my fitness level has improved tremendously. Every week I'm dropping 10 seconds off my miles, my average per mile. And my workouts, I'm holding about 15-second faster pace than I would, let's say, the first week of practice here. So I'm like fitness level, I'm getting a lot better. And I know once indoor track season starts, when I start competing, I'm gonna be dropping time like nobody's business. So that'll be fun to see that.
Good. And you said that the study tables obviously are helping with the academics. How do the other cross-country runners, like the freshmen, do they help you? Do you guys all help each other kind of adjust to this new college life and the academic strain?
We have a variation of what people are majoring in our freshman class. Like we have one that's in the sports science, and then we have two that are in farm, and then we have one that we have a few bio majors like myself, and so we're just making sure that if we need help, we have each other, and we just are doing good by that. And the study tables, like if you have a question, like someone's going to be in the same class you're in, or at least in the same level. At the beginning of this season, we had a group message going on, and we still do, to like plan team activities or just figuring out, all right, who's going to what meal, and just making sure we're always connected. So that's good to have that type of team connection, just as freshmen too, since we're all so lost.
Yeah. Is it different in college to not have your parents necessarily right on top of you, making sure you're doing all your work and your practices? Is it different being your own like self-motivator?
I was my own self-motivator in high school. My parents never questioned me about my homework because they knew I had to get it done anyways if I wanted to get this separate diploma besides just my high school diploma. So for me, it hasn't been any different. I was always really committed with my practices and my academic time. So like I just said before, it was just time management. I just have to make sure I stay on top of everything.
So have your coaches from high school kept in contact with you since you got at Butler and maintaining like a good relationship, seeing how you're doing here at the next level?
I actually haven't talked with my coaches since then. There are some NCAA rules that restrict things. So, I mean, they'll see on Facebook or whatever how I'm doing. But I keep in touch with like how the teams are doing more so than like how my coaches like keeping track with me. I haven't talked with my high school swim coach or my high school track coach since then. So, but when I go back to Holland, I'll be able to. So that'll be cool to be able to like let them know how I'm doing and everything I'm involved with here and how sports are doing and stuff. So.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Lauren, for joining us on the show. I'm Seth Wells, and that is our show for today. Have a good week, Bulldog fans.